Hey guys, and welcome back. So you may be fans of K-drama and Korean food, and one of the most readily accessible ways to experience Korean food right away while watching Korean drama is making Korean ramen or ramyeon. And you may notice that the people in the dramas are using a pot that looks like this. What's up with this type of cookware just for ramen? Do you really need it? Why is it so special? And what are the hidden dangers? We're going to go over that. So what is this magical golden pot? Is it actually gold? No, it's just sprayed with like a gold color. It is 99% aluminum. Comes in different sizes. This is the 16 centimeter model. This is essentially for a good single serving. So if you're like a solo person, a 16 centimeter would be a good size. And if you look, I've already put one ramen in there. And so it fits exactly one serving of ramen. Why is this so important? Why is this so special? Well, okay, first of all, it's really cheap. It's like $3, $2 at the discount store. It's super lightweight, like I said, and so that should give you a hint. Aluminum, lightweight, cookware, it violates every single principle of what you want in actually good cookware. Any other type of food, you should go throw this in the trash. However, for ramen, this could not be any more perfect. Why? Essentially, it's the consistency of the noodles. So if you're like one of those annoying people, even though, I don't know, maybe it's not so annoying, but you know, like the people who like want their pasta to be at the perfect scale of al dente or whatnot, you're essentially playing with the consistency of the noodle. You cannot make it cook too long, but you can't undercook it. And you're also playing with the timing, because even if you take it out of the water or if you take it off the heat, it continues to cook. So how do you manage that complex, I guess, is it physics? Well, in the world of ramen, what you really want to do during this 3 to 4 minutes of recommended time of cooking the ramen is to have high heat right away. So this thin, flimsy aluminum essentially gives you high heat right away. But it's almost like pouring buckets of water into like a bucket with a hole in it. The heat dissipates quickly as well, or it's like opening the window while you have the heat going on. So if you're next to the heater, it's hot, but the heat is continuously just leaving the room. That is actually what you want after you're done cooking it at your optimal 3 to 4 minutes, because once you're done cooking, you take it off the heat. You want it to stay hot. So if you put it into a bowl, it's going to start cooling, and I doubt most of you are doing like, warming your bowl first, So you want to keep it in here, and sometimes this comes with a handle. Don't get that. Get the one with these two, these kind of handles, not like the stick handle. And you want it to stay in here and maintain its hot temperature, but you don't want it to keep cooking and then making the noodles big, because then it gets mushy. And if you are probably one of those like college age kids eating top ramen using your non-stick kind of pots and pans and then overcooking the ramen, it's just like a nasty mush. And so a lot of the flavor is in the consistency, and if you are like a ramen aficionado, you're trying to time it so correctly that while you're eating it, you're always at the optimal level of chewiness. And of course that differs for everybody. But what this allows you to do is more adjust it on a micro level in a very 2D manual way that you can have complete control over. So while you're eating this, let's say, and this is why the Korean people are eating this quickly, because even with something like this, the noodles will continue to cook. And so you want to, get it at its optimal level. So that's why they're kind of eating it quickly. When you are trying to get it out, and if it's too hot, you can make it have a resting station here. The lid suddenly becomes your plate, and people are, eating their noodles from here. They might even put some kimchi or some 단문지 or dakgwang, or it's the yellow radish, and then eat it together and, have fast access to it or whatnot. So that is essentially the reason for this. So even in like those fancy dramas, like, the fancy households, they'll have this because this creates the optimal temperature for ramen during the cooking process and during the eating process. Then the added bonus is because it cools so quickly, by the time, you're not going to be holding this while you're eating it because it'll still be too hot. But by the time you're done with the noodles and you may want to drink the soup base, which if you're a soup-based drinker, you just know you do it. And if you're not, you're just not. But let's say you are a soup-based drinker. By the time you want to drink the soup base, most likely this whole pan has cooled down enough where you can drink and not burn your lips because it's a fast cooling piece of cookware. Otherwise, if you try this with like a Le Creuset or something and it's still radiating heat, like you'd be getting like second degree burns, and like Lisa Rinna will be calling you to be like a lipstick model. So this is why you have to have one of these. However, there is a huge warning label and caution against using these, and Korean people I don't think are going to tell you. So that's why I have to tell you. You have to know the full benefits and risks of using this type of cookware. So the word on the street is that essentially using this cookware is not good for your health. Because why? It's 99% aluminum. It's made out of the cheapest material and probably the cheapest process. So not only does this gold coloring flake off, and people are like, where's that gold coloring going? I guess it's going into the soup base. And then not only that, they said that even if you get a used one where like the gold stuff has come off, actually that will increase the rate of the aluminum that continuously seeps into your food, and therefore the aluminum gets absorbed into your body. The biggest controversy out there right now is of a high aluminum absorption related to dementia and Alzheimer's, and we have a very high rate of dementia and Alzheimer's in Korea. So I'm wondering if it's because, that older generation was just like cooking along their meals using this. It's called 양은냄비. And not only is this used for ramen, it is used for like kimchi jjigae and also like doenjang jjigae. So the soups that are in almost like every single meal could utilize this as well. And the cooking properties for those fast stews would also be beneficial and taste okay. Or for some people, it might taste better in one of these as well. So in some Korean restaurants, when you get your soup, they'll come in something like this, and you might swear that actually it tastes better. I think it does sometimes. They say that if you continuously have aluminum go into your body, you can get dizziness, anemia, you can even become infertile, get cancer, and go blind. But then other experts say that the amount of aluminum that goes into your body from cookware like this is negligible, and that it'll just be excreted through your urine. So that is essentially the warning. But I wanted to let you know, if you're always wondering, why are they using this in a Korean drama, or if you're going to Korean restaurants, or if you're going to like a Korean friend's house, like why are they breaking out this like kind of ghetto looking kind of pot to make ramen, and why does their ramen taste so much better than mine? Well, part of it is because of the cookware, And mainly it's because you're trying to regulate the texture of the noodles to get it at the prime level of chewiness and stop it from overcooking while keeping the entire dish warm to last you until the last bite or the last slurp. I'll leave a link for some that I found below, and I'll also leave a link to what I think is like extremely good cookware, especially from some of you 20-year-olds out there who are still using like cheap aluminum pots and pans. This may be why you're always burning your food, because those types of pots and pans are giving you high heat, and you're forced to use high heat because the cookware doesn't retain the heat. And you're probably always wondering why am I burning my food? Well, you want to have cookware that continues to give you heat from low and slow fire. But it's the complete opposite for ramen. All right, guys. Well, have you used this? Do you like using this? Are the health risks worth it to get your ramen on in one of these? Leave your comments below, like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Tune in next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you.